Good morning, 93.5 CHMM. You guys are tuned into Varsity Life. This is Theo Sonori behind the mic here, and we're tuned in here. It's a very dreary day out there. Black Friday for all you guys want to get out there and get your sales up. I know there's a lot of sales going around town. We have a fantastic show lined up here today. I'm joined today with my co-host, none other than Ryan Wood.
Good morning, everybody. Today in studio, we have a very special guest. We have fifth-year veteran and co-captain of the women's volleyball team here at Memorial. Her name is Kirsten Sorensen. Thank you for being on the show, Kirsten.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. Well, we have to get moving. Kirsten, you only have about a half an hour before you have to jet to practice. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Varsity life.
That's the varsity life. The season is practically over for the first half of until Christmas, but you guys are still practicing in the daytime and making it happen like that. Crazy.
Yeah, still having 2 days sometimes.
Really?
2 days. Wow.
Even in the middle of the season?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Our coach is crazy.
Okay, well, we're very quickly going to move in
on the second half of the show, and we also have we'll be talking about a local recruit that signed on to play with the women's volleyball team. Kirsten, do you know anything about this?
Local
anything
recruit.
about her?
I'm going to say her name's Sarah Daw.
Is her name Sarah Daw?
I believe so.
I believe it is. She's from Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Yeah.
She's been around quite a bit, actually, this past year and last year. She came and had a practice or two with us already this season, and
I guess she did like the summer camps that you guys.
I think she's been going to those since she was probably about 8.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's definitely a big volleyballer and is super excited to come play next year. So
perfect. You gotta love when local girls and guys sign on to play for the Hawks.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Well, there's no reason for us to waste time here. Let's get right to it. Let's make the most of the time we have here today. We have about 3 minutes left until break, so let's just get right to it.
Sounds good.
Kirsten, where are you from?
I'm from Red Deer, Alberta.
Red Deer, long way.
Hockey town, right?
Hockey town? Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Most of Alberta is pretty hockey-ish.
Most of Canada, we were thinking. We were, going through these questions earlier today and last night, and did a little bit of research on Red Deer, and there seems to be a lot of like NHL guys, and Ron McLean from Hockey Night in Canada. Classic Canadian town. I even looked at it. Okay, so you got like the Sutter family. They've been just pumping out players and coaches and all that, right?
Yeah.
Are they all from Red Deer, or is it just...
No, the Sutter boys, there's 7 of them, I believe, are from Viking, Alberta, which is a really small farming town.
Okay.
And but Brent Sutter lives just outside of Red Deer, and I actually played volleyball with his daughter Brooke for 3 years back at my old college. So
is she any good?
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah.
That's crazy. So also on top of that, you got a couple Olympic medalists from your town. Figure skating, I don't know if you know Jamie Saleh.
Yep, Jamie
And he was born, this guy, Jeremy Wotherspoon.
Jeremy Wotherspoon, the speed skater, yeah.
Speed skater, yeah.
Yeah.
But he grew up in Saskatchewan, right? He was in Sask.
Oh, I did not know that. I knew he was from Red Deer, though.
Definitely Red Deer guy. And none other Ron McLean.
Yes.
The big man, Hockey Night in Canada.
I actually got my volleyball knee pads signed by him when I was, I think, in grade 6, because he was at one of the sports centers.
No way.
And I just thought it was really cool that he was there, because I'd seen him on Hockey Night in Canada. So.
Is he like kind of like the pride and joy of Red Deer? A little bit? No? No.
I don't know.
Okay. Not quite.
He's not that cool.
That's okay. I wanted to know, I mean, being such a hockey town, what's the volleyball culture like in Red Deer? It's predominantly anything on ice from what we're gathering. What about volleyball?
Well, as far as men's sports, yeah, hockey's definitely one of the dominant ones, but volleyball, I think, would definitely be one of the number 1 female sports in Red Deer and Central Alberta. It's really quite popular. You usually start around age 11, 12, so it starts young, and they usually have tons of girls come out to play, so it's great.
Wow. That's very impressive. Have you ever heard of ringette?
Yes, I have.
See, we had Megan Robinson on the show recently.
She was actually just telling me about that the other day. You guys had never heard of ringette before.
Heard of it. Well, when she started to talk about it, I remembered that I've definitely seen it on TV somewhere. I don't know why they'd be playing it on TV, but I've definitely seen it It might have been years ago, though. So,
Did you ever do ringette as well?
No, I did not, but I
No.
had some friends that were really into it. So,
For female sports, ringette is up there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty popular. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, we just hit the 10-minute mark on our show. We got to go to a quick radio break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. This is 93.5 CHMR-FM, where we're here with Kirsten Sorensen. Is that right?
Sorensen. Yeah.
That's right. And stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment. .5 CHMR-FM. You guys are tuned into Varsity Life, and we're joined here today with Kirsten Sorensen. Got that one right the
Yep.
third time. Captain of the women's volleyball team, is that right?
Co-captain. Yep,
Co-captain.
there's 2 others.
Who are the other captains?
Jill Snow and Lauren Miller.
Lauren Miller.
Yeah, we have kind of a leadership team, we like to call it.
Very similar to the women's basketball team. They have a 3-pronged co-captain sort of thing, like a leadership group as well.
Yeah, I
pretty sure
think
the soccer team too. Women's soccer team.
Women's soccer team has 3 captains, yeah.
Yep.
3's a magic number, I guess.
Yeah, common theme around the Seahawks.
Yeah,
I like it. How you feeling? This is your 5th year, right?
it is, yeah.
Any thoughts about this being your 5th year? Anticipation, nervousness, excitement?
Not nervousness, really. Just more excited to see what all we can do in my last year. I mean, this is probably the last time I'll ever play sport at this caliber, at this level. So I'm really excited to push myself and see just how good our team can be.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing further you don't think in terms of maybe professional, overseas, something like that?
At this point, no, I don't think so. I think I'm ready for a break.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll be really sad when it's over because it is such a big part of my life. But I am definitely ready to explore some other things in life other than just volleyball for right now. But yeah, I think that's where I'm at.
Do you think like maybe coaching at any point after you take a few years, whatever, do stuff for yourself, but do you ever see yourself being a coach or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. Probably even next year when I'm done playing, I'll pick up a club team or something back when I'm living in Edmonton. So definitely doing that. And then I also would love to coach a high school team, or even I've thought about assistant coaching or coaching at the college level too at some point, just seeing where my education degree takes me.
Yeah, for sure.
And what exactly are you doing in school?
Right now I'm finishing up my kinesiology degree.
Okay.
But yeah, I have the hopes of taking an after degree in education. So
Here at MUN, or?
no, I'm going to go back to Alberta to finish that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you see yourself, applying things that you've learned in your kinesiology degree, for instance, physiology, exercise physiology, even basic anatomy, to coaching, to helping out any sort of team? Can you see yourself doing that?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. Everything you learn in physiology and exercise phys, you could apply to physical training that you're doing with your team, the different sections throughout the season, so your preseason and what that entails, and then your competition phase and postseason training, as well as like the biomechanics and the coaching classes that I've taken would definitely aid in me coaching.
Coaching
a team.
classes with your degree?
Yeah,
Nice.
they're electives, but you go through different coaching theories, different coaching styles, get some practical experience through that as well. So
Do you know if there's any courses you have to do before doing those? Like, would a
Oh.
business major be able to go in and do those as an elective? Do you know?
you might be able to. I took my coaching ones back at Red Deer College.
Okay.
So, but I would think you probably could.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really any prereqs for that.
Prereqs, that was the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Prerequisites.
Thank you.
Speaking of Red Deer College, you've played for any other universities other than MUN, or has MUN been the only one at the CIS level?
No, MUN's the only one at the CIS level. Like I mentioned just previously, I played at Red Deer College, which is the college league, so it's
Okay.
a step below the CIS. So,
Does that cut into your eligibility whatsoever?
yeah, it counts all the same. You just get 5 years in Canada.
Okay.
So whether it's college or at the university level.
Would you say that's sort of similar to, say, Cégep in Quebec, where you kind of go into like sort of a junior college type thing and you build yourself up to you use that as a stepping stone into the CIS? Or was this just you wanted to play for your hometown?
In terms of me, yeah, definitely going to college first was a stepping stone. I think I needed to go play there to develop and build up some skill and then move on to the university level. Also, it had been my dream ever since I was a little girl to play at RDC, so that was also another deciding factor of why I went there. But some people are ready right from high school to jump into the university level, but as for me, I think it was a good choice to start at college.
Do you see many differences between the two, between the college level and, say, the CIS level?
The college level in Alberta and BC is pretty comparable to the university level out east here. But I would say the college level out west is definitely a little lower caliber at times than the university level out west.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So probably an easy transition for you coming from the college level out there to the university level here?
Yeah, I found it pretty smooth coming out here. I didn't feel out of place at all. So.
Nice. Speaking of just volleyball in general, you said it's been a big part of your life. How early did you start playing volleyball?
Oh, I believe I was 11 or 12. Yeah, so grade 6.
It seems to be a common trend. Ryan and I, we talked about when we started playing basketball. Every single person that we've seen had on the show, we've asked them that same question. And we're looking anywhere between 9 to 12, maybe even 13. But most varsity athletes who get to this level and really succeed at it have started very early and sort of just kind of built that over time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would have to agree with you.
Growing up, did you do anything else other than volleyball, like any other type of sports to help build your overall package as an athlete?
Well, when I was really little, I don't know if you can count this, but I did gymnastics.
You can definitely count that.
And then I also played soccer from kindergarten to grade 12 or 11, and then played high school rugby as well.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Look at you.
And did a little bit of track.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I look at things like gymnastics and track and field, fundamental sports, where if you're young and you can take that, build yourself, and you really, you start right, and it's really setting a good foundation for yourself as an athlete. You learn how to move properly in gymnastics, you learn how to run properly in track and field, and those are skills that, surprisingly enough, a lot of people don't get if they don't do these types of things, these type of sports prior to.
Yeah, those sports at the young age, especially gymnastics, are really looking to build those fundamental motor skills for sure that can transfer into sport later on.
Good call. I should have done some gymnastics back in the day.
I wish I did, honestly. Gymnastics to me is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? I want to talk recruiting process. How'd you end up here at MUN?
Basically, I wasn't ready to be done playing volleyball, and my degree was only offered for 2 years at RDC, so I needed to finish the other 2 somewhere. And so I had looked at a bunch of places and sent some video in, and Bill, who was the coach last year, emailed me back and said, yeah, we'd love to have you. Want to come out for a recruiting trip? So my mom and I came out in March of that year, and I fell in love. So.
And what year was this?
This was going into my 4th year.
Okay, so 2 years ago?
Yeah, so last year was my first year here.
Right.
So it would have been that spring.
Okay. I'm curious about the whole leadership idea. Like you say it's you and Lauren Miller and Jill Snow. So 5th year, 4th year, and the 3rd year.
Yes.
3 of you guys. And you guys have a really, really young team. A lot of rookies, a lot of second years. And it looks like, one 3rd year in one of the captains, Jill Snow?
Yes.
So can you speak to kind of like the leadership dynamic? What are some, I guess, techniques that you guys use? Just speak to leadership on that team in general.
Well, John at the beginning of the season had given us a book, Lauren, Jill, and I can't remember what it's called, something about ways to be a leader, and it kind of put a new spin on the whole team outlook, and it really emphasized the team being a family and you sacrificing everything and fully committing to the family. And it kind of talked about ways to get your first year athletes involved more and making them feel like they have just as an important of a role on the team as, say, your 5th or 4th year players who are playing all the time. And kind of the way we do that is we don't call them our rookies. So we don't have rookie jobs like making them take the med kit or the jerseys, making them set up the nets. We kind of put a spin on it, saying that the longer you're on the team, the more privileges you have and you should accept. So we see being able to set up the net and carrying the med kit as these big responsibilities that you have earned
Completely
from being an older athlete. Yeah. And I think that really has helped facilitate our first-year athletes feel like they are a part of the team and that they are important to us.
And something for them to kind of look forward to.
Absolutely.
Most people would not look forward to those things. You probably have to show up a little bit earlier to practice in order to set up the nets and all that kind of stuff. That's really cool, actually.
I like that.
Yeah, and I think when the first-year athletes see the older players taking on those responsibilities, that's just going to push them to want to engage in those activities too and be a part of the team more.
And more respect gained on your part from them.
I really enjoy that. That's a bit of reverse psychology. It's just taking it about a totally different spin, Ryan. I mean, remember our rookie duties? Just having forced upon you to fill up those water bottles before practice, rookie bag on every single trip, just lugging this thing around. I mean, it's literally
through the airport.
Yeah.
I mean, we were gonna buy. I'm pretty sure me and you did buy. We went out to the mall and we bought these like I don't even know what they were.
Hello Kitty, Dora the Explorer type
all these book bags and stuff. We never got the courage to bring it up to our coach to see if we could do it, but we went out and spent our money on it.
Your food money.
Yeah.
Totally. I want to know, continuing on with this leadership trend, you've obviously, you guys read a book that helped you understand some different methods that you could do. You yourself, have you, over your 5 years, developed any sort of other type of leadership skills to help, motivate your team or keep, morale up, or just to keep, everyone focused coming into practice and having productive practices? Anything you can speak on that?
I'm a firm believer in leading by example. So whenever I get the chance, just to work my hardest and make sure that others around me are feeding off that, always coming into practice with high energy, even into the change room with a smile. If you've had a long day, it's pretty easy to come in and just feel exhausted, and those energies will rub off exactly onto the other athletes. So I think it's a big thing to come in with a smile and with some energy and be like, hey, like, how was your day? Like, let's go practice. Let's have a good practice. So that, and then also I like to make sure that I make a point of going up to individual athletes after practice or whenever it may be, and just say, hey, like, you played really well whenever, or I really like how you did that. Just kind of give them a little confidence boost and to make them know that what they're doing is noticed and it is benefiting the team.
Captain right there.
I'm all, that's a captain in every sense of the word. I really like the way that you're carrying yourself and leading your team. I mean, anyone who's listening right now and looking for leadership tips, I mean, you're tuned into the right spot right now. We have a fantastic leader just dishing out hidden info. Way to go, Kirsten. I like that a lot. Any other type of responsibilities you have on this team, as a leader?
Making sure that everybody's doing well in school, following our team rules, the little things that matter that are outside or off of the court. Organizing team potlucks or game nights or team bonding kind of things.
Do you guys do much of those outside of the actual court practice and stuff like that?
Yeah, our team's big on having potlucks. We love making food and eating it.
Baking.
Yeah, baking is huge. At the beginning of the season, we went out to these cabins for a weekend and did a whole bunch of team building activities, which was a great experience. Like I was mentioning earlier to you guys last night, instead of practicing, we had a team movie night. We watched a new football movie. And I think it's little things like that really do make a difference throughout the season. It's not always about how hard you train in the gym. Sometimes it's the things that you're doing with your team outside of the gym that really help build the team up and help you stick together when it comes to crunch time at the end of the season.
Very well said.
Do you remember the potluck that we had way back at Noel's house.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I felt so good about myself.
Did your mom make all your food?
She did.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know what, Kirsten? Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head there.
It made it a lot better. You know, if we cooked the food, the potluck would not have been memorable.
Fair enough.
Or it would have been, but for not the right reasons.
All of the wrong reasons.
We did have some European guys on the team. Vasily from Serbia. And they brought in like the weirdest stuff. Like one was like octopus soup or something.
Oh, wow.
I think that was
like,
Alpha, who's from Tanzania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he brought in this like soup and it had like miniature
Octopi.
octopus in it.
Did you try it?
Hell no.
did.
Why not?
I did.
It's a regret.
It's
I
not going to
wish.
kill you.
I wish I did. I look back on that. I was at a different stage in my life then.
I tried it, but I didn't eat I pushed the octopus to the side. That's weird.
With 3 minutes left here on the show, before we go into halftime break, but you have to leave, so I just want to toss out just 2 more questions.
Sure.
Anyone special that you look up to as a role model or a leader in general?
My dad and mom, I think, are big role models in my life. I mean, they weren't pro athletes or anything, but I think in the sense of how to conduct yourself as a person in life has really helped me be a leader on the volleyball court. And yeah, just some of the values that they've instilled in me have really helped me grow as a person and an athlete. So.
Very well said. Very well said. And finally, you say that you're about to finish up. You're going to go back home, Red Deer, maybe Edmonton, in the new year after this year finishes up. You will have spent 2 years now here in St. John's. 2-part question. A, have you been screeched in? And B, just a general, like, one quick sentence about your time here in St. John's. Like, how do you feel about it? Would you ever come back? That sort of thing. What has St. John's done for you?
Okay, part A. Yes, I have been screeched in.
Yeah.
This past summer, actually, one of my friends who I used to play with came out to visit, and we went and did the deed.
Way to go.
Yeah. I have to admit, though, I didn't eat the piece of bologna. I couldn't do it. Or the Newfoundland steak, I think they call it.
Is that part of it? I thought it was like...
There is. You gotta kiss
everybody
the dog.
has like different traditions.
Yeah.
Deed I is me old cock, and long may your big jaw draw.
Yeah.
Jib jaw, yeah.
Jib jaw.
There it is.
And wow, part B is a toughie. I definitely think moving to St. John's, because it is so far away from home, and it was the first time I moved out, I've really grown up, and I feel like I've definitely grown into my own person, and I love the people that I've met here and everything they've done for me, and I'm just really thankful that I was able to experience coming to such a beautiful place. So that's my sentence.
I have tears in my eyes right
No.
now. Right?
That wasn't meant to make you cry.
No, just out of pure joy and excitement. I really, you're a stand-up girl. You're doing a really good job out there on the volleyball court. About to graduate, moving on with your life, and I'm just happy that I got a chance to know you and we could meet as friends, and just to see you play out there on the volleyball court. You're doing a lot of stuff for the community as well as young girls. I'm sure if we had more time, we'd talk about all of the stuff that you guys do in the public and in the community, but
Maybe another time.
Maybe another time.
back
The
on.
invitation is always open. Maybe one of these times when you don't have practice at 10:30.
Sure.
Yeah. So
When are the next home games? Do you know?
Oh, goodness. January, I think. The end of January.
So after Christmas, do you have home games before away games? Do you know?
No, the first weekend we play, we're in Fredericton, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be either the third or fourth weekend in January.
stay tuned. We will give you all of the information in the weeks to come. Whenever your games are up and coming, we'll let all of our listeners know. And Ryan, do you have anything to say here to Kirsten before she leaves?
Obviously, thank you for coming in.
Thanks
it was
for
good,
having
even though
me.
it was a half an hour. It was really good. And I'm on the AUS website right now, and you are currently third in assists
All right.
in the league, 222. So
Sounds good.
that's a pretty good accomplishment already, halfway through the season.
Anything you'd like to say here, Kirsten?
No, just thanks for having me. I think what you guys are doing is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, you guys have been tuned in to Varsity Life, 93.5 CHMR-FM. We're going to go and talk more about sports. Ryan and I are going to shoot the breeze for a little bit afterwards, Casual Friday. You've been listening to what has been a fantastic interview here with Kirsten of the women's volleyball team. And stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back in a little bit.